Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and lately I've had a lot of people saying to me, Paulie, where's the new speculation? How come you aren't making any more speculation videos? And well, there's a couple simple reasons for that. Number one is I haven't really seen any other evidence worth speculating about, and number two is I haven't seen any evidence to suggest that my previous theory was incorrect. If you saw my last video predicting that the next DLC, Chapter 13, will be about Stranger Things, I haven't really seen anything that would make me refute that. If you saw the last video, you'll remember that this theory all came about because the Netflix Twitter account, NX on Netflix, who is in charge of everything super science fiction, gaming, and fantasy for Netflix, tweeted out that they were working on an upcoming project with Behavior Studios as well as Ubisoft, Roblox, and Epic Games. Of course, just because Netflix is working on something with Behavior, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Behavior aspect is Dead by Daylight, and it doesn't mean that the Netflix aspect is Stranger Things. However, I will note that the Roblox and the Epic Games mentions in this tweet were both about the television show Stranger Things. Ubisoft, I'm not sure. I kind of lost track of that. And then Matthew Cote answered the tweet with a little hi from his own account. So nothing's come along since then to make me think, oh, it was this instead. It wasn't like Netflix announced Adventures of Trapper animated cartoon on Netflix that made me think, oh, that's the project that Behavior's working on with them, or, you know, that Behavior is making the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt video game for Netflix or something like that. So I'm still on track with this theory. I will attach the link to the original video if you haven't seen it. But I did have a little bit of information that possibly solidifies this theory come across my desk today. A couple of people have made me aware of something, and I'm going to share that information with you right now. So if you go on someone's Twitter account, you can click on following, and it'll show you who that person is following in reverse chronological order, from the person they followed most recently all the way down until who they followed first. I believe that's the way it works anyway. So if I were to tell you that Matthew Cote, the director of Dead by Daylight, was following Bruce Campbell, this would not surprise you, right? Because he presumably met Bruce Campbell, and Bruce voiced the Ash character for Dead by Daylight, so it makes sense that he would be following Bruce Campbell. Similarly, if I were to tell you that Matthew Cote was following RJ Torbert on Twitter, I don't think that would come as a surprise to you either, since RJ Torbert's in charge of the Fun World licensing of the Ghostface mask, and we got Ghostface in Dead by Daylight. That would make sense also, right? But what if I were to tell you that Matthew Cote most recently started following Joe Keery and Natalia Dyer on Twitter? Those are the actors who portray Steve Harrington and Nancy Wheeler on Stranger Things. Would that surprise you? Now, does this mean something? Maybe, maybe not. Matthew Cote also follows, for example, Stephen King. Does that mean we're getting Pennywise? He follows Jordan Peele. Does that mean we're getting Candyman? Oh my God, please. I think he also follows Mark Hamill and Jennifer Tilly. Does that mean that we're getting the Bride of Chucky and the voice of New Chucky? Is Mark Hamill going to voice New Chucky in Dead by Daylight? Probably not. But those are older follows. These are very recent follows. And he's only following those two actors. He's not following the actor who plays Hopper or any of the other younger kids on the show. It's just these two. So does that indicate that perhaps Steve and Nancy are coming to Stranger Things? Maybe. I don't know. Several people brought this up to me, that Matthew Cote is following these two people on Twitter recently, as well as one of the community managers for Dead by Daylight started following these two people. The community manager in question is Patricia. So while she also does work for Dead by Daylight, and we have two people working for Dead by Daylight who at the same time started following these two actors, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because you should know that these two people are in a relationship with one another. Matthew Cote and Patricia are each other's significant other, which is amazing. I love, and all the best to them. I'm so happy that they found one another. Having said that, I don't think that the fact that both of them follow these people means that it's work related. It could be work related, but it could also be a huge red herring troll to make my mind explode, having them know that people out there are watching things like this who they follow, and they could have been both sitting on the couch and say, hey, let's both follow these two actors on Twitter and watch everybody's mind explode on the internet when we do that, which would be great. If I am completely bamboozled and this isn't what it is, then kudos to them, because Lord knows that they've had a lot of wind taken out of their sails to make their own announcements. So if it's something completely different and nobody has an idea of what it is, an inkling whatsoever, and they've laid this trail of breadcrumbs as a red herring to take us off the real chapter, then good for them. I will also say that if that's the case, then Dave Richard is in on it, because Dave also put out a tweet when he came back from vacation that says, where is it? The first week post-vacation is exhausting. So many things, exciting things, terrible things, terribly exciting things. Every sentence in the tweet ends with the word things, which makes me think that it's like hinting around at Stranger Things, right? If it isn't, again, it is an amazing troll, and kudos to these guys for pulling this off on me. I'll be the first one to give them the golf clap for that. But between two people following these actors of Stranger Things, and they don't even tweet that much. I don't think Nancy has tweeted like since December of last year. So it's kind of random to follow her, unless you're just preparing for her to make a tweet like, hey, I'm going to be in this video game and you don't want to miss the announcement. I don't know. Maybe there's something there, maybe there's nothing there. But between Patricia, Matthew, and Dave's tweets, they're either trolling the community really hard on this Stranger Things theory, or there's something there. It seems like to me that there's something there. So I'm doubling down on my theory. See what you guys think. Well, who knows? We'll have to see what happens. Remember that, like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could be trolling. I have had Not Queen herself tell me that in videos she's put the yellow post-it notes at the bottom of the monitor that says "Hi Paulie" on it, because she knows I'm going to be looking so deep into the video for clues about anything that might hint at a next chapter that they would troll me with a sticky note with my name on it stuck to a monitor. Like, realize that I'm the guy who's watching the anniversary stream video, and I'm looking in the background and I'm like, why is this bell jar empty on the shelf in the background? This is a huge clue that there's a puzzle box missing and Hellraiser's coming. Like, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? But this is what I got for you. It just solidifies my theory in my mind, keeping in mind that I'm a complete crazy person, that Stranger Things is coming, and we'll see what happens. Steve and Nancy are both hugely popular characters in the show, so if this is a thing, it's gonna really make that fan base happy, particularly Steve. All of the fan stuff I would see was like really clamoring to get Steve in the game. And these two characters do fit more of the age demographic of a Laurie Strode or a Quentin Smith, in that adult post-high school person. Because in the TV show, both Nancy and Steve are graduated adults with jobs now, so they're definitely adults. So that could be a thing. We'll have to wait and see. It isn't really that far away. I expect that we'll probably see a teaser by no later than the end of next week. I think that the chapter is going to come out on September 10th still. I thought perhaps it might come earlier at September 3rd, but looking today, with 3 more weeks of scheduled store cosmetics to come out, across the next 3 Wednesdays. That would be August 21st, August 28th, and September the 4th for the final cosmetics that are scheduled. Assuming you would want to sell all of those items before the next chapter would come out, that would make it like September 4th would be the last cosmetics, and then DLC would come out September 10th-ish, which would mean that we'd see a PTB roughly around August the 27th, with presumably teasers a few days before that. Maybe August 22nd, they might have a dev stream, show us some teasers, tell us about a PTB coming, etc., etc. We'll have to wait and see how the schedule goes, but there's a lot of stuff coming. I expect to make a lot more news videos in the future because there's a lot of things I want to talk about coming to the game and make you all aware of it. I do believe that the second half of this year is just going to be amazing for Dead by Daylight. I'm really hoping that with these dedicated servers, they get the game where they want it, and that we're going to be on the right track and bigger and better things to come. So that's what I've got for you today, and give that to you to munch on. If you put any stock in these tweets or not, let me know. But I'm definitely looking forward to the chapter, whatever it is. Oh, also Peanuts put out a message on the forums that said, I'm just gonna have to paraphrase it and I'll put it up here for you because I don't have it at my fingertips, but it was something about the amount of the player base, and was the player base decreasing. He was discussing it with someone on the forums, and he said when the next chapter comes out, the numbers are going to be way back up. And he didn't just say the numbers are going to be back up, he just said way back up, which made me think, just the language that he used by saying way back up made me think it's got to be a licensed chapter, that they're expecting a huge influx of players to come to the game when this next chapter drops. So we'll see. It could just be an amazing killer that they expect they're gonna bring a big draw of the player base back to check it out. So whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure it's gonna be great. That's all I have for you today. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care of each other out there in the fog. Unless you're the Demogorgon, then bite them in the face. We'll see you next time, and bye-bye.